Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue with our chapter number 2, the reproduction in plants. Till now we have done the different type of asexual reproduction methods like binary fission, budding, fragmentation, spore formation. Today we are going to study about vegetative propagation. What is vegetative propagation? It is the asexual reproduction by the vegetative parts like stem, roots and leaves in plants. The vegetative propagation takes place in plants which do not produce the seeds or whose seeds cannot germinate. It takes place by two methods, either the natural methods or it is done artificially, the artificial vegetative propagation. The natural vegetative propagation can be done by the underground stems, the aerial stems, roots and leaves. We are going to study about all of these one by one. The underground stems such as bulb, rhizome, corm, tuber and runner help the plant to produce vegetatively under favorable conditions. A bulb has small fleshy leaves called the scales and a bud which grow into a new plant. For example, onion, garlic and tulip can grow by the bulb. This is the diagram of a rhizome. Rhizomes are branched underground horizontally growing stems. They have distinct nodes and internodes which bear the axillary buds. These axillary buds can grow into the new plant. For example, ginger, turmeric and banana can grow from the rhizomes. These rhizomes have swollen stem which contain the food for the new shoot. Corm. Corm is another type of underground stem that grows vertically. The axillary buds borne in the axil of the scale leaves produce daughter corms which later grow into new plants. For example, gladiolus grows by the corm. This type of underground stem which helps in the natural vegetative propagation is tuber. It is a modified fleshy and swollen underground stem which contains food for the plant. It has many small buds called eyes. Each eye grows into a new plant. This is an example of the potato tuber. The swollen stem in the potato contains the food for the new shoot. The next type of natural vegetative propagation is done by the aerial stems. The runners and stolons are the creeping stems which produce roots at the nodes. The vertical stem arises from these nodes forming new plants at intervals. For example, dubgrass, wood sorrel and strawberry. This type of natural vegetative propagation takes place by the roots. The adventitious roots, also called the false root. The word adventitious means false. These roots help in vegetative reproduction. They become fleshy and tuberous. They have adventitious buds which can be detached and grown into a new plant. For example, sweet potato, asparagus and dahlia. Next type of natural vegetative propagation is done by leaves. Leaves of some of the plants like bryophyllum and begonia. They produce adventitious buds on their margins. When the leaf falls on the moist soil, these buds develop into small plantlets. On separation from the leaf, these plantlets grow as independent plants. The fleshy leaves of bryophyllum provide food and water to developing plantlets. Some new plants are developed vegetatively by the human beings to improve the variety of the plants. Such vegetative propagation is called artificial vegetative propagation. The three methods used for artificial vegetative propagation are grafting, layering, and cutting. In grafting, two different plants are combined to obtain a new plant with superior qualities. In this method, a stem cutting of one plant called scion is attached and tied with the rooted stem of another plant called stalk. They are tied together. After a few days, due to rapid cell division, the scion and stalk merge together and develop into a new plant with improved qualities. As the stalk is a rooted stem, it provides nutrients to the scion. Using grafting, we can get different colors of rose flowers in a single rose plant. Next method of artificial vegetative propagation is layering. In this method, a young healthy branch of the plant is bent and a part of it is covered under the soil in such a way that its terminal bud is exposed to air. After a few days, roots develop from the part under the soil. The branch is then cut off from the main plant and planted separately to grow into a new plant. Strawberry, lemon, and jasmine are propagated by this method. Next, artificial vegetative propagation is by the method of cutting. In this method, the new plants are produced by cutting the part of a stem of the healthy plant that has axillary buds. This stem cutting is then planted in moist soil. After a few days, the roots develop from the portion embedded under the soil and new leaves develop from the buds present at its upper end to form the new plant. Advantages of vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is the only means of asexual reproduction in the species which are seedless or which usually do not have viable seeds, such as banana, figs, pineapple, and chrysanthemum. This is a rapid, easier, and cheaper method of reproduction compared to the production of plants by the seeds. Plants which are raised through vegetative propagation are identical to the parent plant from which they are produced. Thus, by vegetative propagation, selected varieties of various plants can be maintained without losing the desirable characters. The improved varieties of ornamental plants and the fruit trees can be multiplied easily by means of vegetative propagation. Disadvantages of vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation does not produce the new varieties. As the offspring have same features as their parents, they are prone to same infection, which can result in the destruction of crops. It may lead to overcrowding because there is very little chance of dispersal taking place. Thank you.